Committee at 9 a.m. on January 9th, 2018. And with that, we'll have a roll call vote, please. Oh, 11 a.m., I'm sorry. I got 11 a.m.
Spiz.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Berman.
Here.
Teets.
Here.
McGillivray.
Here.
Dwyer.
Here, thank you.
We have a quorum.
Before we have the pledge, could we please have a moment of silence for Oakland County Deputy David Hack, who is in intensive care at this time, suffered a very serious accident, injuries, and our prayers go out to him and his family. Thank you very much. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I'll ask for a motion for the approval of the minutes from November 28, 2017, moved by Commissioner Jackson, supported by Commissioner McGillivray. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you. I'll now ask for a motion for the approval of the agenda, moved by Commissioner Spiz, supported by Commissioner Berman. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll open it up for public comments. Seeing none, we'll close public comments and move to our regular agenda. And the first item is the Friend of the Court Fiscal Year 2018 Access and Visitation Grant Acceptance, and this is moved by Commissioner Jackson, supported by Commissioner McGillivray. And we have as our presenter Peter Dever. Mr. Dever, please. Step right up. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, committee
You
members.
just take a seat in the center
Thank
there,
you.
please. Okay, would you like to explain the...
This is a pass-through grant. It's a federal funded grant. It's pursuant to a state court administrative office standardized contract. It's something that we've had in place. It's an access and parenting time grant to allow non-custodial parents, low income, to have supervised parenting time with their children. We've had very good success with this program, and we're hoping that you'll approve it today.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Spiz.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Berman.
Yes.
Teets.
Yes.
McGillivray.
Yes.
Dwyer.
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is the Sheriff's Office Fiscal Year 2018 Traffic Enforcement Grant Acceptance, and this is moved by Commissioner Spiz, supported by Commissioner McGillivray. And we have as our presenters Major Smith and Captain Miller. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. We're here today to ask for the acceptance of the Traffic Improvement Association grant money. This is money with no match that comes to us through the state of Michigan and allows us to engage in selective traffic enforcement. The parameters are set by TIA based on engineering studies and accidents and problematic intersections in situations. And we've done real well in the past getting our fair share of this money, and it's a real effective program for us.
Very good. Any questions? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Jackson.
Yes.
Berman.
Yes.
Teets.
Yes.
McGillivray.
Yes.
Spiz.
Yes.
Dwyer.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item is the Sheriff's Office Fiscal Year 2018 Underage Drinking Enforcement Grant Acceptance, moved by Commissioner Teets, supported by Commissioner Berman. Gentlemen?
Yes, this is again a TIA grant, substantially smaller than the previous one, but it allows us to offset the cost of alcohol enforcement compliance in liquor stores, bars, and special events where juveniles are likely to congregate, particularly during times of high school graduation.
Very good. Any questions by any commissioner? Commissioner
Just
Spiz.
point of clarification, you said it was less than last year's?
No, it's less than the previous grant. The previous grant we talked about is quite a bit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is not a large sum of money, but it helps.
Okay.
Commissioner Jackson.
Thank you. Is any of this money used in partnership with local community coalitions?
This money is specifically for the sheriff's office, and we put it in the areas that we have contracts. We utilize it in areas that we have contracts. However, local police departments can also apply for this money and are eligible to get it.
Okay, and so they could get that information just by contacting the sheriff?
Yeah, I'm sure that Chief Hawkins is probably aware of it. It's
Okay.
been around a long time, and again, everybody has the same problem, and so I'm fairly certain he's aware of it, but if he's not, he can contact me.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Teets,
Yes.
McGilvray.
Yes.
Spiz,
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Dwyer.
Yes, motion carries. Our last item is the Sheriff's Office, addition of 800 hours to Court Park deputy positions for enhanced security at the Board of Commissioners, moved by Commissioner Berman, supported by Commissioner Jackson. Major?
Morning, Mr. Chair, Major Chuck Snering.
Lieutenant Todd Hill.
Hill.
Gentlemen, morning.
And Chris Ward, you all know Chris.
Mr. Chris Ward, yes.
We're there to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Commissioner McGilvery?
How did we determine the need for the extra sheriffs?
I think I could start this off a little bit, Mr. Chairman. Our chairman, Mike Gengel, requested that we request this assessment this last summer, just as a routine matter, to take a look at the security for our board meetings. And Lieutenant Hill was good enough to conduct that assessment and report it back to us with a thorough assessment of our meeting security, and came back with a number of items, one of which was the active assailant training, of which many of you participated in, and then the number of deputies that we have during both our day and night meetings. And then there was also a secondary issue that that I asked them to take a look at. It's been a long-standing concern that we've had, that's aside from maybe just the strict security of our meetings, which is really the Open Meetings Act issues that we've had with the electronic devices that people are allowed to bring in. The Open Meetings Act says that you can't require people to make arrangements ahead of time. They should be able to come in without making any prior arrangements. They should be able to just, come in. So we've had problems in the past where people have been stopped and turned around, and that would be a violation of the Open Meetings Act. So we asked them to take a look at how we could change the procedures, and that would require some changing of procedures with the security as well. So after they came back with their recommendations, we had discussions back and forth, and that required some changes as well. So that was, I don't know, Lieutenant Hill, if you would like to add to that.
One other to add to that is the fact that there was a couple of requests from Board of Commissioners to enhance the different podiums and the different desk areas with bullet-resistant material. And after my assessment, I would not necessarily recommend that, whereas I think it's more advantageous to increase the security presence and a more proactive stance. The bullet-resistant material only works if you're behind it and the person doesn't come around the corner. So it doesn't come around the desk area. So when we're talking about cost value, I think that the rough estimates to completely redo the Board of Commissioners auditorium with bullet-resistant material into all the desk areas was about $500,000. So that compared to what these costs are to increase staffing to ensure a proactive presence and pretty much lock down the Board of Commissioners area during all meetings would not only satisfy but be the best option rather than bullet-resistant material. You still wouldn't stop that person from coming into the area. You would just hope that if there was an incident, you'd be able to be behind that particular area.
I totally agree as far as myself with all your recommendations. I think that the way to do it is enhance the security, the bulletproofing, and it's just almost impossible to do.
Yes, sir.
And the cost factor obviously is a big deal.
Absolutely. We're talking about, I think the increase was right around $17,000 to increase staffing to ensure that we had utilized the metal detectors during the daytime. We at the south entrance, and we have pretty much the entire Board of Commissioners area locked down with a presence inside the the meetings while the meeting's going on. We can facilitate all the parameters of the Open Meetings Act requirement for cell phones and or cameras or whatnot. We had already been doing that anyways, but now we've got a little bit more standard to ensure that that person doesn't come back into the court area and violate the judge's court order to not have recording devices in the court building itself. So once they get into this area, they can't filter back, translation. After hours, we're utilizing the metal detectors, and we do physical screenings of bags, along with having a deputy presence inside the Board of Commissioners meeting. And then the third thing was that there's a roving patrol during committee meetings itself, in this Board of Commissioner area.
Any other questions?
Yeah, as
Mr.
far as
McGilvery?
cell phones, they are allowed to bring in cell phones?
So during the actual Board of Commissioners meetings, yes, they are allowed to bring in cell phones and or any other recording devices. They just have to be scanned to make sure that they don't have any type of material that should be brought in.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your recommendations, and we thank you for the increased security, and we thank Sheriff Bouchard.
Thanks, sir.
So with that, roll call vote, please.
Teets,
Yes.
McGilvray,
Yes.
Spiz,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Berman,
Yes.
Dwyer.
Yes. Thank you, motion carries.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, with that, we'll move to communications. We have 3 items. Need a motion to receive and file, moved by Commissioner Spiz, supported by Commissioner Jackson. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I see there's no other business, so we're adjourned at 11:12 a.m.